Good afternoon, everyone. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. This week's been pretty, Bachelor Nation has been dealing with a, back and forth, chaotic, messy situation with the finale of the final rose being aired in two parts on Monday and Tuesday night. We learned that Peter Weber, ended up proposing to Hannah Ann. And after proposing to her, before he proposed to her, he did so because the other contestant, Madison, had left due to her belief that their differences were too significant in terms of their lifestyle choices and their hopes for the future and what their wants were in life. There was a lot of issues here. Madison was well into working towards a career in ministry, and Peter is a pilot who enjoys the nightlife and going out and having fun. Lots of differences that caused concern not only for his friends but also for his family. On the second night, it was revealed that they got engaged, and then they broke up subsequently a few months later because Peter apparently couldn't get over Maddie, but also, according to Hannah Ann in an interview on Ellen, said that he also was having some issues with closure related to Hannah Brown. Interesting. So 3 women were involved in this engagement, and Peter was indecisive along the way, which caused Hannah Ann to tell him that she was upset with the way in which she was treated and didn't really appreciate the fact that he wasn't careful with his words and didn't give her all of the information that she needed in order to accept a proposal from him. Then the second part, Madison comes out, and there's this back and forth between his mom and Madison related to his mom believing that Madison is not the right choice for Peter because of their lifestyle differences, and in turn, the way that she feels that Madison has treated the family. There was things that she said that were not on tape, including things that she said that Madison told her, which led her to believe that Madison was not there for the right reasons, indicating that she wouldn't accept a proposal from Peter, she wasn't in love with Peter, and that she had left for 3 hours, or left them sitting there for 3 hours, and had not apologized for being late for their scheduled one-on-one. Now, Chris Harrison came out and said that it wasn't necessarily Madison's fault that she was late because Peter and Madison had a conversation outside, and apparently at the time Madison was considering leaving, which means that one-on-one they had with her probably was indicative of how she was feeling, and she reluctantly told Peter she loved him at that time. So at the end of that, they were like going back and forth, and his mom, Barb, says, Peter's going to have to fail to understand what happens here because Peter was adamant that he was going to move forward with a relationship with his now girlfriend, maybe? They didn't really say what they were. Peter said that he was in love with her. Madison said she had love for Peter, but she didn't say she was in love with Peter. So I guess it should come as no surprise that Peter announced this on Instagram yesterday, and this followed a tense lunch out in Los Angeles only that afternoon, where people that were there said that they both looked like they were frustrated and that it wasn't a happy conversation. He wrote on Instagram, "I want to start by acknowledging the incredible group of women that I had the privilege of getting to know this season. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I learned so many lessons from all of you that I will carry with me. Maddie, thank you for your patience and unconditional love. You're the epitome of a woman who carries herself with grace, stands by what she believes in, and loves wholeheartedly. That love is something I feel so grateful to have felt, and I will take a piece of that with me always going forward. Maddie and I have mutually decided to not pursue our relationship any further. Believe me, this was not easy for either of us to be okay with, but after a lot of honest conversations, we have agreed that this is what makes the most sense for the two of us. The love and respect I have for Maddie will continue to endure. Hannah Ann, you set an example for women everywhere a couple nights ago. You are such a strong, confident woman, and you deserve all the love in the world. I accept full responsibility for my mistake and not mistakes in our relationships, and wish you only the best." This has been an emotional experience, and I am grateful for the outreach of support that I have received from friends, family, and Bachelor Nation in the last few days. Thank you all. Thank you to all of you. This is just another chapter in my story, one I will never forget and one I will always cherish. Now, I had said yesterday in a video that I believed that Peter had chosen Madison because he knew that she wasn't the right person for him, and he was not ready for a commitment, which is something that Hannah echoed in her statements, that Peter just wasn't ready. She said that both on Ellen and also on a podcast with former Bachelor leads, Lindsay and Becca, Bachelorette leads. So other people from the Bachelor Nation offered him, well wishes and hearts and stuff. But then Maddie, posted this following that and said, so incredibly thankful for this amazing journey I had the honor of being a part of. I've grown so much, and I'm stronger than I was going in. I've learned the importance of acceptance, forgiveness, grace. As Peter and I have decided to go our separate ways, I am confident that we will both move in the direction of our purpose and never forget that God has a plan in all things. I will always love and respect him. I am convinced our paths were meant to cross, and we were both better because of it. Pete, you are an amazing guy, and I'm thankful for you. I will always be your biggest fan. And to the amazing women I met this season, I will love you for life. Thank you, ABC, for allowing me to embark on this journey. And then she shared a photo of them at the reunion. Now, there's some questions about why the family didn't like her. And his brother was on Instagram actually going off on comments. And Jack said that it wasn't necessarily the fact that she wasn't... the differences in life. I guess he's alluding to the fact that she was very different, not shown. So editing appeared to have been in her favor, according to Jack. She said, dude, facts. Half of these people don't even have the slightest clue as to how far Maddie is from what the TV shows. And then he said the good reason that everybody likes her is called strategic editing. And then he said, if you think I only talked to her for 5 minutes, then you really have no idea how the show works. So apparently Madison was maybe not there for the right reasons. On the podcast with Lindsay and Becca, they talked about how they had suspicions that given the fact that her convictions were so different and she was so starkly different about what she wanted in life, and that she withheld that information from Peter until the very end, which wasn't common on the show. Previous seasons, individuals that had those same feelings would disclose that almost right away. And the fact that she had waited so long made them feel as though that she wanted as much airtime as she could get in order to stay on the show. And then they also said that shortly after they announced the end of the show, she was on Instagram announcing that she had now representation as a manager to help manage her career, which made Lindsay and Becca feel that Maddie had motives of career advancement and not necessarily for love to be on the show. So I wasn't the only one in my displeasure with Maddie, and I guess now we're getting an understanding that maybe Maddie was there for her own self-agenda and not there for Pete, which maybe coincides with why she withheld that information, according to people in Bachelor Nation. So that's where we're at. Are you surprised that they split? I'm not. And I think that his mom and his family probably saw what Lindsay and Becca are talking about, and the fact that now that she has representation, and it just seemed like this couple, she was never really there for him. The connection between them two always seemed very one-sided. She waited until the very end to even tell him that she had love for him, and that was given to him almost as a carrot because she wanted to leave, which would again have her coming back so that she could, have more airtime. And then when Chris Harrison goes to see her, she admits that, I totally still have feelings for him. So is Maddie just a really good actress that did all of this for dramatic effect to ensure that she gets more of a career? She certainly would not be the first person within this franchise that used the platform in order to gain a career and going on the show for that reason rather than going on for love. So tell me what your thoughts are. I would love to hear them. I'm kind of not surprised that this is the end. I also am not surprised that he is leaving here single because Peter is not ready. Peter needs to take some time and think about what he wants in life, but he's clearly not ready to be a husband because no husband would walk away from someone who's willing to give him everything for someone that was giving him crumbs. All right, I'll be back later with more. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Bye, guys.